honor of Steelers founder Arthur J. Rooney and has been presented annually since 1988 to the member of the Steelers organization who best exemplifies the spirit of cooperation with the media that he embodied. Patrick Queen is our winner this year, the third defensive player in a row to win the award, and perhaps it's fitting that he is the green dot wearer and the communicator on the field, and he's also been the best communicator with us throughout the season. On behalf of the Pro Football Writers Association Pittsburgh chapter, we thank you for that, for your willingness to talk to us throughout the week, not just in group settings, but one-on-one and also after games, not only just for talking with us, but being transparent, being very blunt in your assessment of yourself, your teammates, and giving us a good pulse of what's going on in the locker room and being really generous with your time. So congratulations on being the Chief Award winner.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank y'all. Yeah, I am blunt about a lot of things. That's just me. Sometimes I'm pissed off and sometimes I'm just keeping it real, but definitely appreciate y'all. I know y'all have a job to do. And sometimes as players we like it and sometimes we don't. And that's the harsh reality about this sport. Everything's not gonna always be positive, but a lot of y'all are positive. A lot of times y'all come in with a smile on y'all face and that brightens our day sometimes too. So we definitely appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all.
All right. Fire away, guys.
Patrick, you talk about just the difficulty of battling, just negativity, and even when it's not from us, just from the general, you guys have to engage, you don't have to, but you do engage with media, it's natural in our world, and just the daily struggle of finding positivity despite all the negativity when that's around.
Yeah, and this is a thing that me and my dad go back and forth on, because I like to reply to people. And sometimes it's in a good way, and sometimes it is just to prove a point. But he always tell me don't do that. And just knowing us, my family being religious people, just knowing God always has a plan, and God always says love one another the way you would want to be. So it's just something that you gotta. Everybody deals with it a different way and stuff. For me personally, sometimes I do go back and forth, and then sometimes, I'd be like, God wouldn't want me to say anything negative to anybody or treat anybody harsh or bad. So there's different ways you could go about it, and sometimes you just gotta clap back sometimes. But for the most part, just keep a solid mouth about it. Whatever brightens your day, that's what you gotta find. Whether it's, go and talk to a family member, go and talk to a friend or a coach or somebody in the media. Just, there's outlets out there for you to be able to get a positive outlook on things and not always take it as negative, and be able to work through those things.
Where did you learn to be blunt? Was it something you were raised to be? Was it something that you just feel like just being honest and straightforward is just do you take pride in like that being like a characteristic of you?
Yeah, I just, my dad was always blunt with everything. I guess I could take out through him a lot of things, unfortunately. But I think it's just the world we live in. Like this sport, I feel like everything should be straightforward. I think in life, everything should be straightforward. I think there's no reason to lie about things. I don't think there's no reason to sugarcoat anything. I think if you want to be great, and not just in sports, but in life, you got to be real about things. And the older I get, the more transparent that stuff becomes. And I just try to be straightforward with everything, and try to get better each and every single day.
Patrick, when you're so straightforward and blunt with everybody, you ever hear any of your coaches say, "Hey, a little too much"? Or they welcome that? What's the thoughts when they hear you say some stuff?
Yeah, they just try to talk to me, and they'll be like, PQ, just like try to get me to calm down, because like I said, I always say I expect perfection, even knowing things aren't gonna always be perfect. Just trying to chase that, because I know how good this team could be. I know how great our defense could be, and it's just something that I think that's how it got to be. And they try to get me to calm down sometimes, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes I apologize for it. Sometimes I think it's necessary, so I don't apologize. And we work through those things. We're all grown men. We all take accountability for things. It's just something that we work through as a team, and I got to try to be better as not getting as mad, but still be able to be blunt.
So have you gotten in trouble for being blunt? How did you figure out how to kind of thread that needle of being honest but not too honest at some points.
I didn't get in trouble for it. It was just a thing of having to like tone it down a little bit, and not trying to showcase it to the whole team or the whole defense, I could say. Just being able to go to the coaches and just like say, hey, I have a problem with this, or I don't see this the same way as the coaches do, or maybe some other players. It's just something that we got to work through, and I have gotten better at that. Not showcasing it to the whole defense and stuff. And it's just, like I said, I just expect perfection. So if something not perfect or not close to what I want, I'm probably going to be blunt and honest about it.
Has it gotten you in trouble talking with us?
No, not at all. I don't think I said anything wrong. I try not to like throw anybody under the bus or anything. Obviously, nobody would want that as a player, coach, or whatever it is. But I try to be as honest as I can.
Patrick, do you see a value to kind of explain to fans, like, hey, these are some of the things that are going on?
Yeah, it's just, what you mean by that?
Like, you can say stuff to us,
Yeah.
that we can disseminate that to the fans, like,
Yeah.
hey, this is what's going on, this is
Yeah.
why this is happening, or whatever it might be.
Yeah, I think it's just me analyzing things. I think for the most part, fans don't get the inside look, which I really don't think that matters sometimes. I think as a fan, like, you enjoy the game, but they're not here with us at practice or meetings or anything. So I think at a certain extent, that gets cut off. But it's just me being honest with y'all, with the public eye, being honest with ourselves. Like I always say, I just keep it blunt, I keep it honest, and that's just how I am. That's how I'm gonna always be. Sometimes I do need to tone it down, but for the most part, I'm always honest.
You mentioned, go ahead.
I was going to say, moving on to the game, what would it mean for you to knock the Ravens out of the playoffs? And then secondarily, you've played for Johnny and Mike. Both those guys have come under criticism this year. Can you just talk about being on both sides of this rivalry and what those coaches have meant to you?
Yeah, it's obviously this game is for everything. The AFC crown, the AFC North crown, and the spot in the playoffs. So obviously it's a huge game. Nothing more than that, and nothing more than trying to get that mission accomplished. But playing for both coaches, I could say from them taking criticism this year, those two guys are extremely hardworking guys. They care about each and every single player on their team. Every single day they come in with the best mindset to be able to prepare their team for whatever challenges they face ahead. And I think a lot of the criticism is kind of unworthy of it, because a lot of times it's on the player's shoulders of outcomes of games. Sometimes it could be culture related, but for the most part we go out there and perform. And if defense is letting the offense score a whole bunch, or the offense turning the ball over and stuff, I don't think that really relies on coaches as much. We have to be better as players sometimes, and that's the harsh reality of the sport. Like, when teams aren't performing good, they're always going to look at the head coach, the guy who's leading the teams. But I have nothing but respect for both of those coaches. Coming here every single day with Mike T, he explains the X's and O's of what teams do by strategy, and he's always on point. So it's just something I see every single day. It's like I'm always going to have respect and love for both of those coaches. So this is a huge game for both of them. Both of them don't take this lightly, as they shouldn't. And I think the players follow suit with those things.
A couple of weeks ago, you brought up that you were working on how to express yourself and communicate about where you guys needed to do that. You said you had worked on that, and Mike Tomlin helped you with that. When I asked him about it, he said that it wasn't about your play; it was more about you absorbing the responsibilities of being a leader. And he said, to your credit, you hadn't been resistant. You've embraced challenges. You've been transparent, or he's been transparent with you about the challenges, and you've taken it on fully. How have you felt yourself grow as a person and a leader, even away from just the football aspect of just being responsible for not just yourself, but a lot of guys in a big role?
Yeah. It was tough at first, especially like last year being in the diet and then a new defense. But being from afar the previous years, you always seen the defense be good. So when I came in, it was a lot of things that, I just was trying to get used to. And then having another year under my belt, seeing how things worked, being able to get more comfortable with Mike T and the TA, and be able to see how those guys think, and see how our guys on defense thinks, and just trying to get us in the best position to be successful. Sometimes it's tough With certain calls, you try to, say, hey, that's not going to work, or hey, it is going to work. Whatever we see about that, we go back and forth on it. And it's just, for me, just seeing, like, how the players feel versus how the coaches feel, and just trying to make sure we're all on the same page about it, whether it's good or bad. Just whether it be like, hey, let's do another walkthrough to get it down, or hey, maybe we should take it out, or hey, maybe we should like just switch these two people doing it. So whatever it is, is always in the best interest of the team. And I go to my T with that, I go to TA with that, and it's just something that like I said, I had to be better at, because I would just see it and I wouldn't say, hey, maybe let's change that, or hey, let's do it a different way. I would just try to work through it without saying anything. Sometimes it costs us, sometimes it didn't. Sometimes we perform well and be able to, overcome things like that. And at the same time, when a call is good and the coach puts it in, and me or another player doesn't like it, me being able to have to take a step back and just being like, hey, like, it's all right, it's a good call. Let's just do our job. Let's play football. So it's just both roles that you got to play to make sure everybody's comfortable and in the best situation.
Patrick, what's the state of the union in terms of turning the page from opportunity lost to opportunity at hand?
Yeah, I think, it sucked last week. But I think at this time, at this point in the year, like, there's nothing else you could think about but just winning this game. It's a big game. It's the AFC North Crown. It's a playoff spot. And like I said, after the game, like, when you look at the whole building, you look at, like, people who work here, them getting an extra check, getting in the playoffs, your teammates who aren't, making a whole bunch of ton of money, getting them another check, and just trying to win, just trying to be legendary, trying to, build your legacy up, and doing whatever it takes to get there. So, like, it's a huge game. It's everything on this game right now.
PQ, going back to Harbaugh and Tomlin, you've played for both of them. Obviously, you didn't play for them all the decades that they've been coaching, but having been around both of them, what is it that's allowed them to both be the head coach of those organizations for so long?
I think they run a well-organized ship. Every single day, like I said, they come in prepared. They're getting guys in the best situations that they can to be able to be successful on the field. They care about you as people. Every single day they come in and they lead. That's the best way I could put it. They just lead every single day. Like I said, I have a bunch of love and respect for those two coaches. I know this is a big week to both of them. They're going to be in there trying to fire us up, both sides. I know Mike T has already tried to go back and show some old plays and stuff of us doing good things and doing bad things, and trying to eliminate the bad things before they could happen. So, it's a big game, but both of these coaches will have their team ready to go.
How much does that visualization help you guys as players?
I think it's big. I think if anything in life you want to be, come to fruition, you have to visualize it. You have to manifest it. You got to believe. You got to whatever it is that you do. You just gotta do that. And I think visualization is the biggest key to that. I think that's how you perform well. I think you go to sleep at night, you're thinking about plays that you're gonna make. When you wake up, you're thinking about plays that you're gonna make. As soon as you put the game plan in, you think about plays you're gonna make. So I think that's the biggest thing.
You mentioned how big this game is. Does it feel like beyond the division that there's something at stake for maybe Coach T and John? Because, look, nothing in the league is forever, and whoever doesn't win this game, there might be some subsequent, big changes within those organizations.
Yeah, I think it is a big game. I think every single year is a big game, though, regardless of, all the stipulations riding on it and stuff. I think at the end of the day, though, just hearing all the outside noise about both of the coaches and stuff is just something that I think they could care less about. I think their mindset is to win this game, and I ain't got nothing to worry about, as it should be. So I think at the end of the day, they're just going to prepare both teams to go into this battle, blocking out all the outside noise as we should, and try to go get a win.
You were on this defense last year when the Ravens, ran the ball really well against you guys. And the season there was a charge this offseason to get better at that. Derek Harn, Wyatt Black, bringing in Malik, his chemistry with you, and then you guys have improved this year against the last 3 weeks. I think you guys have a lot of fewest rushing yards. Do you see this game as like the ultimate test of have we really improved from this, or do you guys sort of separate this and this is just it? I'm isolating it just to this week.
Most definitely. I think when you facing a team that's going to get the back 35 carries a game, who runs the way they do, It's tough, and it's going to be a challenge for us. But I think we're built for the challenge. I think every single guy in the locker room is fired up for the challenge. At the end of the day, you know, we all get paid to play this game, and we love this game. So we go out there and perform as best as we can. We're going to try to stop the run. But those guys are good players on the other side, too, so they might get a play here and there. But us on the defense, we got to go out there, you know, fight back, swing as much as we can, try to knock them down, try to hold that run in, and try to get after them in the pass.
Andrew, have the last couple of weeks given you confidence because of the way you guys performed rush defense-wise?
Yeah, I think we always had confidence. Like a couple of weeks ago, I said the difference between confidence and momentum. You know, I think the confidence was always there. I think we just haven't put a string of good games together doing that. And lately we have, so you can kind of see the momentum starting to take over, and everybody's, you know, feeling it and stuff. I think that's the difference between confidence. Confidence is you just knowing that you could do it, but momentum is you doing it and then building off of it. And I feel like that's what we've been doing.